Hi guys, today is lesson 100. Can you believe we're already at 100? We're going to be talking about the surface area of right pyramids and cones. All right, so if we look at a pyramid, here is the net, or here is a pyramid, right? And then this is its net. So look at the base. The base is what shape? It is a square. And then the sides are triangles, right? And so how many sides are there? It's hard to see in the three-dimensional one, but there are 4 triangles that would make up this pyramid, all right? So before we have talked about slant height of these kinds of shapes. The slant height can be found, if we don't know it, by turning our triangle into a right triangle, right? And then using the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For this lesson, they'll give you the slant height, so it will be a little bit easier. But in case you need to find it by yourself, you can use the Pythagorean theorem. All right, the right triangle would be this right here with A, B, and C for your sides. All right, so quick review. Lateral surface area is defined as the combined area of the surfaces on the sides of a geometric solid, excluding the areas of the bases. So before we've talked about how LSA, or lateral surface area, is the perimeter of the base times the height. Your book is going to use this notation right here. It's A sub S to stand for lateral surface area. So again, if we look at this pyramid, what shape is the base? It is a square. And what shape are the sides? They are triangles. So how do we find the area of a triangle? The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, right? The base would be the length of the square. The height is the slant height, and we're going to divide by 2. How many sides do we have? We have 4 sides, so we would do this 4 times, or we could multiply 4 times base times height and divide all of that by 2. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to find the lateral surface area. Like I just said, you can find the area of one triangle and multiply that by 4. Or you can multiply the perimeter of the base times the slant height and divide all of that by 2. All right, so your book gives you these formulas to use. The lateral surface area of a right pyramid, okay, they look a little funky. A sub S is right here. It stands for lateral surface area. So there's 2 ways we can do it. The first way is P times S divided by 2. P stands for perimeter of the base, and S stands for slant height. We can divide by 2. Dividing by 2, another way you can do that is multiply the perimeter times the slant height by half. Dividing by 2 or multiplying by 1/2 will give you the same answer. All right, so example 1, find the lateral surface area of a square pyramid with base sides of 4 inches and a slant height of 5 inches. Okay, so a couple different ways we can do this. The first way would be the area of one triangle, so base times height divided by 2. So what's my base? 4. What's my height? 5. Dividing by 2. 20 divided by 2 is 10. There are 4 triangles like that, so 10 times 4 is 40, and its area, so it would be inches squared. The other way we could do that is using the formula that they gave us. So the lateral surface area is the perimeter of the base. So my base is the square. So perimeter means add up all the sides. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16 times the slant height is 5. Sorry, that looks like 16.5. 16 times 5. And then I'm dividing by 2. What is 16 times 5? 30. 5 plus 3 is 8. 80 divided by 2 is 40. inches squared. So do you see how we got the same thing, doing it either way? All right, and then we just have to remember the total surface area is a little different, right? Lateral surface area doesn't include the bases, but the total surface area does include the bases. So we found the area of one triangle was 10, right? So I have 10, 10, 10, and 10, which gives me my 40. But when I'm trying to find the total surface area, I do include the base. So remember, my shape here is a square. So 4 times 4 would get me my, let me erase that. That doesn't make any sense right there. Okay. So I have 10 for one triangle, plus 10 for another, plus 10 for another, plus 10 for the other. That's a total of 40, right? And then my square base is length times width, or 4 times 4, which is 16. So my total, I'm going to combine 40 and 16 and get 56 inches squared for my total surface area, right? It would make sense that it's bigger because we included the base in total surface area and we did not include the base in lateral surface area. All right, the other shape we're going to look at today is a cone. So if we think about cones, they have, well, let's look at their base, right? What shape is the base? It is a circle. So if we remember to find lateral surface area, we're looking at the perimeter of the base. So what do we call the perimeter of a circle? Well, that is the circumference. And how do we find circumference of a circle? 2 ways we can write it: pi times diameter, right? Or the diameter is 2 times the radius. So we could say 2 times the radius times pi. Your book will usually write it as 2 pi r, but they mean the same thing. All right, so if we want to find the lateral surface area of a right cone, A sub s stands for lateral surface area. We're going to use pi because the base is a circle, and we use pi when we're finding circumference of a circle. And then we're going to multiply r, which is the radius, times s, which is the slant height. All right, so if they asked you to find the lateral surface area of a cone with a diameter of 10 centimeters, so that means all the way across the circle is 10 centimeters, and a slant height of 16 centimeters, could we find the lateral surface area? Express your answer in terms of pi. That means that we can leave pi in our answer. So if we use that formula from the previous page, the lateral surface area is equal to pi rs. R stands for radius. So if my diameter is 10, what's my radius? Well, it's half of my diameter. So I have pi times 5 for my radius, and my s sort of looks like a 5, sorry. S is my slant height, which they told me is 16. So what is 16 times 5? 30, 5 plus 3 is 8. So this would be 80 pi, and then it's centimeters squared because it's area. All right, how could we find the total surface area, right? This one would be rather tricky. Just kidding. It wouldn't really be that tricky. Total surface area is just going to be my lateral surface area that I just found, and all I have to do is add the base, right? Because lateral surface area is the area of the faces without the bases, right? So I basically found the area of this thing, and now I just need to add the base back in. So how do I find the area of a circle? Well, that would be pi r squared. So in this case, r is 5, so 5 squared, right, is 25 pi. So the area of the bottom part here is this 80 that I found, and I'm going to add 80 pi, and I'm going to add 25 pi to that. So if I have 80 and I'm adding 25, I will get 105 pi centimeters squared for my total surface area. All right, please check out the practice set on page 667 if you would like some additional examples, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you later.